What is up, guys? My name's Dmah from Martial Club, and today I'm going to try something new. A lot of people like to ask us, what is our favorite Kung Fu movie, or what is the best Kung Fu movie to watch? It's a really hard question, but I think I found a way to kind of answer that question. I'm going to try a new film series called Dmah's 5-Point Palm Exploding Heart Critique. 5 criteria. What makes a good Kung Fu movie? Well, obviously, you're watching it for the Kung Fu, so is the action good? But one of the biggest limitations of Kung Fu movies is they tend to be thin in plot and wonkily paced. The characters aren't developed well, they're very one-dimensional. So, does this Kung Fu movie have a good story? Is it executed well? Is it a good movie made with good lighting, good camera work, good stuntmen, good actors? Was it directed well? Was it written well? How much does this film push the envelope? What is the film's legacy? What does it contribute to the genre? And last but not least, there's the heart aspect. So how much did this movie inspire me, and what role did it play in my development as a martial artist? When people ask me what my favorite Kung Fu movie is, the first movie that comes to mind is Iron Monkey. Iron Monkey is a movie that came out in 1993. It stars Yu Guang and Donnie Yen in a movie about a Robin Hood-esque character who steals from the corrupt rich and gives back to the poor. It's also a Wong Fei-hung movie. For those of you who don't know Wong Fei-hung, he's kind of like the equivalent of the Chinese James Bond, in that there have been over 100 movies made about this guy. He was a real-life character, he was a Chinese folk hero, and he was a master of Hong Kong, a Chinese martial art that happens to get featured in a lot of our movies. He was a real-life character, but he has since reached legendary status. Lots of stories are told about him. It's gotten to the point where it's hard to tell which stories are true and which are false. Before there was Ip Man, there was Wong Fei-hung. But what's unique about this movie is that it features Wong Fei-hung when he was just a kid. Quick fun fact about this movie is, I believe it's the only time that the character of Wong Fei-hung is portrayed by a female actor. Now, why is it one of the best Kung Fu movies ever made? First off, the action is top-notch. It is the perfect union between the old school and the new school. You've got shapes, Wong Fei-hung, Wong Kei-ying, they do Hong Ga in this movie. You can see very clearly defined shapes. You have the crane beaks, the tiger claws. It's still filmed in the contemporary style. It's got very fast-paced choreography, flashy kicks, flashy handwork, wire work. This movie is special because it's got both of that. But like I said, what makes it a good movie more than just a good Kung Fu movie is the story. Iron Monkey is one of those movies where you finish watching it, and whether you're a fan of the genre or not, you find yourself saying, this is a good movie. Why? Because the plot is very relatable. You have Robin Hood, who everybody knows, steals from the rich, gives to the poor. Someone you can easily get on board with. You obviously have Wong Fei-hung. But what's interesting about this movie is it takes away focus from Wong Fei-hung, and it gives some of the spotlight to his father. Wong Kei-ying was a real-life martial artist. He was one of the 10 Tigers of Guangdong. He was very, very famous, but you almost never see him get the spotlight in any of the movies. Wong Kei-ying in this movie is played by Donnie Yen, and he does a fantastic job. This was really his chance to shine. It was a fine exhibition of his abilities as a leading man. Even though this was still a decade and a half before Donnie Yen would make his big break as the master Ip Man, this movie will still be considered one of his greatest when everything's said and done on his career. So like I said, this movie has a good story in addition to its excellent action. It's got neat, concise storytelling, it's well-paced, it's tonally balanced, it's a serious movie, but there's many moments of levity and humor, but it doesn't break it, it doesn't border into camp or anything like that. It's also got elements of wuxia going for it. So, this movie has the idea of martial artists being distinct from mere mortals. So you got superpowers, but they're not ridiculous. The main bad guy in the movie, Hin Hong, he's a Shaolin monk gone rogue, and he works for the government. So he's seen as this huge traitor and a force to be reckoned with. His special technique is the poison palm, which is a variant of iron palm, except when he hits you, not only does it cause massive external damage, but it seeps poison into your body. You also got lots of other fancy showpieces. You have forms exhibition, you have weapons, a wide variety of weapons. You got double broadswords, you got spears, you got stabs, you got guns, you've got straight swords, you got chain whip. Chain whip's really rare in movies. You've even got like ninja superpowers, flying stars, you've got exploding smoke bombs. All of that wrapped into a movie that doesn't venture too far away from the genre. So the execution of the movie is really rather solid. The lighting's good, the production value is good. Most of the movie is shot on set pieces, but it doesn't have that set piece look like a lot of the Shaw Brothers movies do. This was the first time that Donnie Yen really got to show his chops as a leading man. When all is said and done on Donnie Yen's career, this will be cited as one of his best movies. This movie is directed by the venerable Yuen Woo-ping, who choreographed movies that you know and love, The Matrix, Kill Bill, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, amongst many, and this is one of his finest pieces of work. Iron Monkey is an example of the golden age of Hong Kong cinema. This movie is very close to my heart. It came at a time when I felt like I had seen all the good kung fu movies. I saw this movie when I was in middle school, I believe, shortly after I had just started practicing kung fu. This movie blew me away. This movie restored my faith in the kung fu movie genre. When I saw everything in the movies, the pace of the action, the flips, the kung fu, the kicks, I remember distinctly thinking to myself, when I grow up, I want to be like that. I want to be able to kick like that. I want to be able to flip like that. Like, I remember going as a kid to Hollywood Video, and the movie was so good that I had to pop in that VHS several times before I had to return the movie, and I would end up going back to that Hollywood Video and renting this movie 3 or 4 times. This is just one of those movies that's worth watching again and again and again. So yeah, this is one of my favorite kung fu movies. Pretty sure a lot of people watching this are going to agree with me, but if you don't, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to discuss it. Also, I hope you like this video. We want to do a lot of reviews like this. Hopefully we can give you some insight into what's good action and what's bad action, what's worth your time, what's not worth your time. Hopefully we can lead you to some real gems that can possibly change your life. So, in the comments below, tell me what is your favorite kung fu movie. Also suggest movies that you would love to see reviews on. Well guys, it's been great. I had a great time reviewing this movie. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe to Martial Club, follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, support us on Patreon. As you guys have been seeing lately, there's a lot of new Martial Club merchandise about to drop. Make sure you get your name on those pre-orders and be ready to snatch yours up because they will be gone quick. As always, if you want more kick-ass kung fu, be sure to keep it on Martial Club. Dmah out.